What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sister B.
And I'm J Chanel, and you tune into S.G.I.C. So, this is episode 8 of season 1. Um, Today, we're going to free flow. The topic is just flow. We're going to free flow, have a light, conversation because the weeks, plural, has been hectic. Um, so, we're just going to free flow because I know I've sent something, to D about something that's going on actually in the school system now, which I was very about, but we're going to get into it and also going to touch lightly on atomic habits, but it's not going to be how we've done it in the past because I have this new app that I've been using, and I like it. I did it for like basically like self improvement and different stuff like that. Um, I don't know if it's an echo or not. I think I hear feedback from myself,
You
but
sound good. You sound good.
okay, because I can hear myself coming back through your side. So just mute me while I'm talking on this side. Um, but the app is called Headway, and it has like a bunch of books and different things on it. And mine was basically pertained to self growth, self awareness, confidence, financial literacy, and overall having like a good like lifestyle of health. And ironically, one of the books that they actually recommended to me is a book that we talked about on here, and it's Atomic Habits. So if you can see, it's like right here. And disregard my nails because I'm taking the polish off. But I was shook because it was in the top 3 books that they recommended to me. So I was like, okay, so I'm doing kind of good, So they have like Clever Girl Finance and different stuff like that, and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and so on. So I've been listening to that, and I went on my walk today, and it felt good. Like it felt real good just to like breathe, and I do better when I'm in nature, like we've discussed, and just having that moment. And I wasn't really thinking like too much about like anything at first, but I just basically just went outside because the sun was shining, and it felt good, and it was nobody that was really outside. Girl, I had my bonnet on my head. I had my bonnet on, and I went for a walk. Like that's how serious it was for me today, because I was just like, I need a moment to breathe. And usually, like I ain't gonna go out there in my bonnet. I like do my hair or something. Put on something cute. Just for a walk, so I don't look like I just got out the bed. But today, babe, I brought a blanket with me, and I just walked around. I kid you not, I brought the blanket with me, and I was just in my own world. Now the only people that was outside were like the property people, like power washing the parking lot and stuff like that. But I mean, I was a little embarrassed for a second, just a little bit, because I was like, oh child, still see me in my body, but I just kept going. But it was today, it it was a good day because I didn't have to get up and test, because child, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I passed my test, and I was very happy about that. Yeah, girl, when I say proud of myself, I was proud, because those 7 tests was, I'm not gonna say they were hard, but they were something that it was foreign to me, So it was foreign, but I'm very in tune with financial literacy. But once I got into like the depth of it and being able to see, like, as I'm learning, I'm like, hold on, wait, I need this policy. When they talk about like, oh, well, if you're 30 and you start off this and you do da da da, I'm like, well, I'm 25, so we're having this knowledge and I can start early. It made me feel good, like really good, because I don't know. I always believe that you're a student of life, you know, and you're always learning. And when you stop yourself from receiving new information, you actually stop yourself from growing. And so I passed that, finishing out with a 93, because your girl was really like having a moment, okay? I was just like, listen, these tests is getting on my nerves. I wake up every day and I'm taking tests. Baby, that was the worst time for me in school, period. Was that testing week where like everybody want to have a test and you having to prepare for all of that, and it's so much different information and you're having to pass it. It's not like, oh, well, there isn't really any wrong answer. Blah. So I had to know this stuff, and it showed me areas that I can like work on and stuff like that. So I'll be studying for my official state exam, but I am officially pre-licensed in the state of Louisiana. So excited, saying I got my insurance license. Let's play me. But yeah, the next step is my exam. Girl, it was 100 questions.
Girl, you're gonna be all right. You are gonna be all
right. Baby, that test was hard. 100 questions in 2 hours. Sound like a lot of time, but it's not. If you spending 5 minutes on one question,
think about it like God.
You know what? And my coach keep doing that to me. She was like, I'm gonna use God every time, because that's the only thing that gets you to actually tighten up and act right and really think how you're supposed to. I'm like, she's like, who is your daddy? I'm just like, that's not fair. This is not fair. It's not fair. Because no, I'm exhausted. And she was like, stop downgrading what you've done. Like, you keep saying you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. She was like, Jay, they have people that come into this and they wait a year before they actually take their test. You went straight into it. She said, it says in the Bible that, yeah, that I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. She said, you ain't pinched no tent in the valley. You ain't pinched a tent. You literally went full speed ahead to the storm instead of sitting there and being rained on. Like, you have to give yourself the credit where it's due. And I'm like, I get that, but I don't know why I do that, honestly and truly. I feel like it's enough, but at the same time I don't feel like it's enough. And she just like, you need to give yourself more grace than it, because it's not okay. Like, she was so excited last night because I finished it. I told her I had a certain date and I was going to finish it on that date, and I meant that. And she was like, you pulled through. I was surprised, but she knew that I would do it. She called me Smarty Pants. And honestly, that name may sound light, but it is very intimidating. Because I'm like, I don't want you to never think I'm just going to be hitting the head, hitting the nail on the head every time. It's not going to happen like that. So I don't know, maybe I just got my answer. Maybe that's why. I don't think that I'm doing enough because I never want to put like a high expectation on myself. Because if I miss the mark, then I'm going to literally like honestly self-destruct. Like, you're not smart and you're this and you're that. I just answered my own question. That's funny. That makes sense. But what has been going on with you, beautiful? Because if y'all haven't noticed, my girl, at least seeing the hair. It's the hair for me. It's the face, but it's the hair.
Girl, lost in the days, because I'm going on that trip for my auntie's birthday that Saturday. So literally been trying to get myself. Sorry, I'm about the background noise. I don't have my headphones today, but literally been trying to get myself and my son for that, because I take my son everywhere I go. Y'all don't need stubbies. I'm mad about this because I had to do his hair and my hair, so I couldn't get my nails on. But it's cool. I was able to do these things or whatever. But just lost in the days. Literally, I thought today was one. I thought I had one more. But yeah, my son even in the background. If y'all hear him, I put him on some headphones, so he might be a little loud in the end. Trying to keep them distracted. But all in all, been busy, but I think I'm feeling pretty good in the spirit, pretty good at heart. My mind has been all over the place, but my spirit man has been keeping the doors like no. So I'm feeling real good. Just busy trying to get ready for this trip.
So your spirit man has been keeping you afloat.
Yes, basically. And I'm trying to work. Can you hear me? You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just trying to stay in my word. So I've been like full. Celeste's been trying to pull me this way, but that word said, keep going, girl, keep chugging. So I've been full thirsting for that word, and he's definitely been giving me something to drink.
Hello.
So yeah, I feel good. I feel good. Like even though I was a little off today, my girl called me, y'all, and I was over there eating my popcorn, checking my email, chilling. I'm glad I didn't fall asleep. So you really called right on time. I'm like, I guess I just chill. So I'm glad you called me.
I didn't, girl. I was sitting here and I'm just like, okay, it's 6:30 now. Mind you, I was here before time because I do everything like that. And I'm just like, okay, it's 6:30 now. I ain't see her pop up yet. So I was like, well, I'm gonna, give her some grace. Like she probably, doing something like, okay, hold on, let me get everything straight. And then 6:40 came. I said, hold on, wait. Listen, she might be a couple of minutes late, but no, she be on time. It be within that 30. So I'm like, okay, let me call her because she gave me that grace one point where she called me, child. Listen, I had the scarf on my head. I'm like, what's up? She's like, where you at? I'm like, girl, I ain't know it was today. I had to snatch it off and just be like, what's up? What's up? Like, this what you get. Girl, did you watch the sermon that I sent to you with Sarah?
I made it halfway through before I got distracted, but I think I heard exactly what I needed to hear. Not gonna lie to you. So there was a part in there. Hold up, no. Refresh my memory because I don't want to quote the wrong thing, but it was a part in there about like our body literally be trying to tell us, and it's crazy because our body trying to tell us, so it's not that we don't know. Because today I had that body moment. I'm like, listen to yourself, trust yourself. So I be having a problem where I don't trust. So I have trust issues against people, and they made me like stop believing in me. But I had to go back to like, I know my body, I know myself, I know, like I said, I know when my spirit is for me to do something or not to do something. And I needed to just believe. So there's gonna be a lot of information, y'all. But I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. So I know when my and this just for example. So I know like how my emotions get when my cycle about to start. I know how like my body looks and feels, like all these different things. So I knew that my cycle was about to start, but I didn't listen. And that's all I'm gonna say, ladies. If y'all see it, I'm sorry, but I was like, dang, like I know myself, I know my body. I have to start trusting myself. Letting go when it's time to let go, and going forward when my spirit says act, it's saying move. And there's a lot of things that my spirit hasn't said. I feel like God is really pulling on me. And I'm trying not to miss my mark. I'm trying not to miss it. But whatever reason. And I'm just trying to refuse fear or doubt, whatever it is. Because for whatever reason, I will not go forward with what is control. I keep trying to wait on. I think we talked about this, the right moment. What is the season? Right? So, yeah, that really did affect my system. But I got a little distracted. I told you my flesh and my spirit like tugging at me. And it's funny because our bros had talked about like not moving backwards, not becoming my old self. That's what I'm battling with. I'm not gonna go. I keep going to New Year's places. I trip all of what was over. And I'm like, it's involving my family, and I'm trying to like, I'm so concerned about my mom. So my grandma said, like, I want to care for her and be around her, but the people, places that she's around is bringing out something that used to be me. So it's just like, I'm not trusting myself. Once again, I can tell that it's pulling on the old me. So I need to separate myself a little bit. I just don't listen. I won't listen. Not listening to God, not listening to the Holy Spirit, not listening to my heart. Like, I'm just allowing myself. I ain't gonna allow myself to slip backwards. I would never be that slow again. But like, I need to listen and trust my instincts and trust me.
Okay. I need you. I know I always say this, but I need you to hear me. Give yourself grace of being able. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Give yourself grace to be able to put all that love and that effort and that affection and that attentiveness and that time into finding out who this new D is. Who has God called me to be at this time? Don't let the enemy take you to walk off on a whole nother path because he's using your emotions against you. That sensitive side that you have and that empathetic side is the thing. God wired you to be sensitive for a reason, but he wired you to be sensitive for him first. Not second, first. So if he's called you to go to Wisconsin, you need to go to Wisconsin. Not, I got this and I got that and I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to stay here because I got this and that. What did God tell you to do? Because sometimes we can be a crutch to people. They won't get better unless you take your hand off of them. That don't mean they're going to fall. If you really believe that God will never leave nor forsake us, then understand that he's going to do that for the people also in your life. But you have to understand that you can become an idol to the people that are in your life to always be there to pick up the pieces, to always have your hand there, to never let them fall. Where is God in their life when you are now putting yourself in a position to be God in their lives? You taking on more than you can bear. It's not a pour into you, pour into me situation. You're the only one that's pouring. And of course, you're going to be more sensitive and more empathetic because of the person that it is in your life. But you got to be able to say, if that person does not want to take that chance on themselves first, you can't make them do that. It's going to make you recoil. It's going to make you want to go back. Trust me, I've had my moment literally to where I wanted to smoke again. And I'm being truthful and transparent with you because I've been in that moment. So that's why I'm able to be truthful and sit in front of you and tell you that. As a God-fearing woman, not a woman of God, a God-fearing woman. Knowing the consequences, knowing the results from it, knowing what it's going to open me up to, still wanting to go and do it because it was going to please my flesh and get me to have that moment where I can sit back and I can just chill. Because I'm overwhelmed and I'm overly stimulated. It's not always your emotions that you're feeling. You got to be able to understand that. When God is telling you, sit down, take a break, talk to him in that moment. When he's calling you to that isolated time, it's for preparation for something else that's to come. But because we're not God, we don't know what that looks like. Because it's easy for us as humans to try to make a plan for something, and then it's delayed, and we like, oh, the devil, da 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 da, and he done da 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 da. Maybe you never actually sat and really took a moment to understand that not only do you go to talk to God, but you also need to be in the understanding of sitting down and listening. I'm guilty of it as well. You want to talk, but when are you going to listen to receive? It means something. And that answer and that response that you get from that conversation, because it is a conversation, you're not talking to a brick wall. You are talking to the Most High God who breathed breath into your body today for you to be able to walk around. This is a casing that we have on who we are on the inside. We are spirit. You can't see who you are. And even in the word, it says that when God literally comes, that he will give us our actual bodies that we are supposed to be in. We're not even in our finished bodies. These things don't leave with you. But that spirit, that soul, goes back to the Father. So that pruning and that pressing and that time, and we don't know when we're going to leave this earth. We don't know. When we sit in front of him, we can't have an excuse and say, well, Dad, I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, and you said to help everybody and do this and do that, but I also told you to be discerning to my functions. I told you to never stifle Holy Spirit. If I sent a comforter for you, and for him to only speak on me and my son, speaking to him, not on his own authority, why are you not listening? Not to be stiff-necked, not to be rebellious, but to trust him. And sometimes it's scary. It don't feel good to not know. But what do we live by? We walk by faith, right? And not by sight. Give yourself grace to be able to say, you know what, God, I give my mother back to you. If I don't trust nobody else with her, I trust her with you. Shield her, protect her, cover her, heighten the wedge of protection around her. Feel her and help her to be able to understand what is going on in this time. Help her to not be hard-hearted towards me and thinking that I'm being this way or that way, but understanding that right now, in order for you to help her, you got to help yourself. So if you see the old you trying to sneak back in a moment of weakness, they knew you got to stand up and say no. He said, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything more is of the evil one, meaning the enemy, meaning manipulation. You cannot let a person emotionally manipulate you. And think, well, the Lord said, do it with a cheerful heart and be a cheerful giver, but you ain't cheerful when you're doing it. So what you doing it for? We overly invest ourselves into things that God ain't called us to. You can't save the world, baby, and it's okay. It's okay. But you got to give yourself grace, because you don't need to hurt yourself in the middle of a battle that honestly, God may trying to be doing a correction for her, and you standing in a gap right there. Not in prayer, but you standing in the middle of him literally having to touch her life to change it. But you taking all the blows. No, I got it. No, I got it. I'm going to do it. I got it. What are you talking about? She's not learning anything from that. And you hurting yourself. Well, you know, I'm a good Christian woman, and I'm gonna be there because he told me, you know, to stand firmly on his word and be this and be that. Okay, true. But ignorance, he said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Understand who you are serving. He said, do not cast your pearls to swine. Why would you put a pearl necklace around a pig's neck? You don't put a gold ring into a pig's snout. Why are you dressing it up? What are you doing? It doesn't make sense. It's a Bible verse. It says that a dog returns to his vomit. A dog returns to his vomit. It's like a sinner. Hold on. It's a Bible verse. I got it for you. But give yourself grace. Trust me. I understand. I get it. But you can't let yourself go back to somewhere that God then delivered you from, took you from, that you begged and pleaded, groveled, snotted, cried, and said, Lord, if you take me out of it, I'll never do it again and I'll never go back. I trust you. All those moments and those nights where you were crying in your bed and nobody else could see it, waiting for your son to go to sleep and you were crying and calling out to God on your face. Don't let nobody turn you away from that. Who you are today and able to stand up to be, that woman is resilient. But you got to stand up for yourself. That's the only way you can help the people around you. You can't turn back and go back to something, because then it shows them that it's okay for them to do it. He said, be an example. How am I an example if I go back and now I'm sitting here and I'm smoking 2 blunts? I ain't go back and smoke one. I'm smoking 2 of them. I'm sitting here Joseph. But you know, the Lord said, man, y'all better get in that word. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yeah, what? I mean, yeah, we slip. Okay, we ain't about to sit here and act like we don't slip, but now listen. Give yourself grace to back away from trying to minister to these people while you under the influence. Okay? Right now, you need to be talking to God. Because there is something internally that is going on with you that is making a battle and a shaking. And especially when you are a woman that fast and pray, there is a shaking that is going to happen in the spirit, and you are going to be tested by God, and you will be tempted by the enemy. This is a war that is going on for your spirit and for your soul. We can't afford to put our hands on the plow and then look back, because in the word it says that we ain't fit for the kingdom. Stand on it and trust him. If you trust him, it's hard. We can say it and it sounds good, it sounds nice, until it's time to actually do it. Trust him. He got her. He got everybody around you. You know prayer work. We ain't just got to fast and pray about the things that's happening with us personally. Honestly, prayer, yes, it's for us, but it's for other people too. Pray and fast for them. Understand the impact and the warfare that will happen, because you are now breaking down mantles of things that are there and kicking in doors and telling them they gotta go. That don't mean it's gonna be easy, and you know that. But give yourself grace, sis. Because at the end of the day, baby, we all gonna leave here by ourselves. I'm not saying you giving up on her. Never said that. Never said that. But you got to be able to say, you know what, right now in this moment, God, I'm going to give her back to you, because I'm not equipped right now for me to be able to war the way that I need to. When he gives you knowledge of something and you see something further past reality of what we're seeing, but he lets you see into the spirit, you need to pray about what he actually highlights to you and shows you. It's a reason he's showing you her truth. He's not going to unveil somebody's truth to you if he can't trust you with that. It's a reason you're seeing things that are attached to her life for a reason. Write it down if you had to, so you don't forget. Pray, fast, get in your word, find scripture. Literally You got all of the weapons. You sitting in the armory and you ain't touching nothing. Because you're trying to measure which one is bigger. And the only one that's bigger is God. That's your strength. That's your sword. That's your armor. That's your protection. Utilize your Father at all times. But especially when it's something that literally you're supposed to be turning to Him for. Because literally, not too long ago, my emotions were literally all over the place. And I had to get quiet and I had to pray and I had to ask God to take whatever spirit that was attacking me at that time away, so I can properly think, I can properly flow. I'm not coming on here with an attitude, looking teed off. That's not my battle, baby. That's my daddy battle. I'm supposed to be sitting cute. What you gonna do? I'm not saying it's going to be something that's easy, because it took me years in order to get to where I am now. Baby, them nose going to hurt like a sword. They're going to hurt. You're going to feel like the scum of the earth. You are. I'm able to tell you because I went through it. You're going to feel like you the most evilest person. How could you do this? You're going to feel like their enemy instead of a person that loves them. You're going to feel like you betrayed them. Don't listen to those lies. Because you've always been there. Know that. Put that test to the facts. Not to a feeling. Not to an emotion. You don't let that lead and guide you nowhere, because it's going to toss you to and fro. What does the truth say? Where are the facts? You've always been there. We're human, so we're going to respond. And we're going to have something to say. And if your mama a cussing Christian, then she may have some stuff that she going to say. Okay? Get upset. But guess what? I love you anyway. And ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't help nobody when you have feel, baby. It don't work like that. That's why you're exhausted. Because there's a half-filled cup that you're trying to pour from. And guess how much you're going to leave for yourself? Until you get annoyed. And you just like, you know what? Dump that. That ain't how you want to do it. You want to still be level-headed and be okay and say, you know what? It's okay for me to feel the way that I'm feeling. But right now, I got to take a step back. I need some silent time. Take a drive. Talk to God. Don't just sit in your house all the time with the stuff that you go through. Don't sit inside with it. Go outside. Because you don't want your home to feel like you have to war only in there all the time. No. You should have peace in your home. Take that outside. You gonna fight somebody inside? And tear up all your stuff? Or you gonna take them outside? Let's go outside. Cause what? You got this. You girl, you stronger than anything that the enemy tries to throw at you or put up against you. And honestly and truly, we gotta be able to perceive it and look at it from the right direction, because it could be a test from God. Think about the things that you prayed on and what you asked him to deliver you from, and be able to see, does this battle correlate with that? Is there something that I'm supposed to be taking away or putting towards? It's a moment. You're in a season of preparation, and it's okay. It's okay. What you feeling right now, it's okay. But you don't gotta stay there. You don't have to distract yourself to be okay. You don't have to. Because it's not worth it to delay yourself because of what's going on. You don't have to do that, baby. That's not your battle. You have people's lives attached to yours. Okay? You can't put off you going to go fight England because you want to stay in America, and all these people got all this stuff going on when Dee was supposed to be in England. That's what God appointed her to. But she want to stay in America because she done chose to put herself and insert herself because I've done the work, I did this, I did that, I'm strong enough, I got this, and you over here getting your butt kicked and not understanding why. Because I called you over here. But you took a self-proclaimed mission, and now I'm gonna sit over here. That don't mean that I left you over there, but I'm about to sit back and just wait for you to call on me because I know why I called you too. I gave you provision, preparation for that plan. The one in England. You took all of that and you trying to keep it in America. I ain't give you that for that. Because there's a certain thing that you need to be able to fight this over here. Just like the disciples that went out and they tried to cast the demon out, the little boy that was possessed, they kept having like these epilepsy, different things going on. But he said that this just doesn't go out by prayer, but by fasting and prayer. So, baby, them demons had a time with them. Beat them up out their clothes. Okay. And they just like, Lord, I don't know what's going on. What? Hold up now. I went over here and I told them they had to go in the name of Jesus. But what is this now? What? They got beat up? Cause sir, that ain't no. And faith. Lack of faith. So right now in this time, where your faith at, baby? Cause you got it. Put a use to it. Do what you need to do. Be in purpose. Be in connection. Be in consecration with that relationship with your daddy. Cause he's sitting there waiting on you. You're like, oh, look at my poor little baby. Oh. You don't know how strong you are until you step into it. It's okay for you to feel the way you feel, girl. I ain't gonna take that away from you. Why? Because I'm human and I done been there. That's why. But I'm not gonna tell you that you gotta stay there because you don't. Okay? So do that for yourself. And have fun on this trip. Because we ain't going there with emotion. What?
Hey. Say hey.
Hey.
Yeah, dang, I needed to hear that. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said all of that. Thank you for sisters making her say it, even though sometimes the person don't want to hear it so anyway. So, yeah, thank you for that. Y'all give me one sec. See to take the 2 second break. Yeah, also.
Okay, you guys. So, what is doing it, which I'm gonna end up going back over it again, but in Atomic Habits, because I don't know, I like the app. It gave me life, but it gave me some insight to some stuff, and I actually got an answer for why, you know, when like we be looking for a place or whatever, and we riding in the car, right, and you got the music up or whatever like that, and then in order for you to really be able to see, you got to turn the music down. I got the answer. I found the answer. So we are going to go over swimming habits when D gets back. But yeah, y'all, I'm pre-licensed in the state of Louisiana. And I'm so proud of myself. At first, it was hard for me to be proud, but because I wanted a certain score, but I passed, so I was excited. But that test was no joke. It was 100 questions on my pre-exam. 7 tests, okay? A week going on, 2 weeks, literally every single day, getting up like clockwork to get on my computer, study, go through my book. I literally still have my textbook sitting on my lap. Like, your girl had a 10. I had a 10. Was it worth it? Yes, because honestly and truly, it gave me insight on things pertaining to financial literacy that could actually help me. And I'm happy that I got into it at a young age, so I know how to prepare for my adult life to be adulting, because after 25, we ain't celebrating birthdays no more, but we making, those milestone perks or whatever like that, little mini moves or whatever. So we do what we gotta do, and I'm excited. I'm really, really genuinely excited because I'm actually setting up an IRA account policy for myself, which I didn't know that I can do until I started studying. And after I take my exam to be certified officially, I'm going to take my securities insurance test so I can go into mutual funds and investments, because that's up my alley or whatever like that. So
you girl, I am ready to get life. You say you do life insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life and business.
Mm-hmm. Period.
I went to I actually went to a class that was telling me like the perks of life insurance while I get it. So I am ready. I'm like, I had to look into it, but just
educate yourself.
Yeah, so I'm ready.
Period. We love that. I'm honestly and truly the one thing, because we always talked about like the girls have good credit, okay? You cure with good credit. You gotta have good credit, okay? The girls need to be insured, okay? The girls need to have investment accounts, okay? They need to have these annuity accounts. Like, I didn't know about all of this stuff, and as me studying, it showed me I didn't even scratch the surface. And we think about why the other side has so much wealth, but it's because they were just hip to what was going on. Like, listen, sister girl is not playing at this point, okay? Because the stuff that I know now, and then to be able to help other people around me, baby, listen, we want wealth. We're breaking generational wealth gaps, honey. We're breaking all those things down to a science. And you don't have to be 65, 75, 80 years old, and now you a wealthy millionaire, billionaire sitting, and everybody get, who want to do that? I'm sorry, I don't. Because if I could retire at 35, that's what she gonna do. While she running her other businesses, I'm not doing it. Like, no, I see, if I literally do not get married or anything like that, whatever the Lord's will is gonna be done. But right now, honey, I will make myself a housewife, okay? Because that is my dream, to be a housewife, okay? A well taken care of housewife, running my businesses, relaxing and not stressed out, okay? Very traditional, is what it is. One kid, that's it. I'm not a multiple child person. I really do look at people kind of different when they have a lot of kids. Like my mom has 3 girls, and I'm just like, how my mama did that? Like, how? But we were good kids, though. We didn't get in trouble. We were actually really good. Now it could have been fear, or it just could have been just it was a good thing. But my mama didn't play that with us. Like these young parents, now baby, I'll be scared. It's like Lil Ron is gonna really be out here stealing. You named him Abraham, but he just stole a Toyota Camry. Okay, you got the Kia boys going crazy. It's a lot. Okay, it's a lot going on. And it's because it's young parents, like for real, but they didn't have parents to influence them, teach them, show them the right way to be. And it's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's a cycle effect. But yeah, just one. I don't need to. I would be your best friend. We locked in. What I said when we locked in, something ain't no switching up. Yeah, that. Cause me and my kid gonna be the best of friends. You know what you need a sibling for? You got me. I'm so childish. Don't play with it. Don't think I'm that serious. I will be your best friend. You don't need no extra sibling. I'm here. You want to draw on my face? Okay, cool. We can do that. You want a tea party? Cool. Want to get in some mud? Let's go outside. Let's put a bathing suit on. Get in the mud. No more kids. Like I kid you not. That'll be the only free reign my child have. It's like I want to do this. I want to do that. Fine, let's do it. As long as you don't say I want a sister.
So I can attest being a mom, a single mom, and being a young parent. I can attest to everything you're saying first and foremost. Because no judgment, ladies. However you raise your child, that's your preference, and mine is mine. But this is my opinion. When I'm like next to a young mom and they're like young mom in it, I be like, hold up, something is messed up in the mix out here. So I have to literally, and that's why having a relationship with God, Christ, Holy Spirit is very important. It is crucial to not only like yourself, but to parenting. When I say girls, I ain't gonna say, but I be old school. I'm not gonna lie, my 2-year-old, he act like a 2-year-old, he act like a child. See, when I say he is real disciplined, like, what the Bible say? It don't say pop his butt, like, it don't say it like that.
Don't spit a rod. Spit a rod, spoil the child. Yeah, if you spit a rod, you sure gonna spoil them. He said discipline them. If God say discipline, that's why I don't be understanding I don't spank my kids and da-da-da. Let me say something.
That just for parenting jump.
I still hear my mama to this day if I choose to try to do something crazy. In my ear, she ain't gotta be in the room. I was like, Jerk, you better not do that. I wasn't gonna do it anyway. I was thinking about it. I wasn't gonna do it. Like, but this is the thing. My mama didn't have to beat us all our lives. But when we did get it, I don't wear belts to this day. So that should give you a whole little, summary of what happened. I don't wear belts. I'm not for them. It was what it was. When I was in middle school, the administrator was like, your whole uniform is together, but why you don't have a belt on? I said, I'm scared of belts. And I was like, what? I'm scared of belts. Why are you scared of belts? Because my mom used to whip me. Okay, because they put zip ties on us at my school. The little zip ties that you put on something to tie it to keep it. Yeah, they would zip tie you. So I was like, look, whatever you got to do, but I ain't putting no belt on. The one belt that I had, it was one of the ones you put the fabric through the loop and pull it. You had the little two little clip. It was something like that. I didn't have real belts. I wasn't the best kid, but I was fairly good. I was just curious. Okay, it was what it was. So I ain't gonna say I didn't deserve to get a whipping because I did. But yeah, I know better now. So you can't get me to do nothing crazy. Call me boring, call you what you want, but I ain't going to jail. And I ain't about to hit my mama because mama said she ain't coming to visit me, and she ain't bringing me no commissary. So yeah, no money for commissary. She not calling me. She not coming to see me. And there was some other stuff, but I'm just not gonna say that. But yeah, I'm too cute and too small to go to prison. Okay, so I'm not doing nothing crazy with you. Nope. We stand in the house. We gonna eat and we gonna be happy. I don't play like that. Cause that's why I'm so confused at this Kia boy situation. Like they have the Kia boys down here, and they stealing, parts and stuff off cars, and I'm just like, where your mama at? Like, and if she is there, is she telling you it's okay? Like, baby, my mama didn't condone no craziness. Period. Like, wasn't a thing. So yeah, I come from a different household. You do not have to be in a 2-parent household in order for you to grow up and not be a menace to society. I'm a product of it. I understand it. Like my mama didn't play it, and it's called discipline. Okay, my mama could look at us and we got right. She had to say nothing. Okay, make you stop breathing. It's like, let me go ahead and sit down somewhere. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm up here. I know we got some curtains. That's about that's funny. We got no two boys out here too. I don't have to.
Well, that's good. You safe. Yeah, that's scary. And these young kids, these are not older kids. These are young preteen, early teenage boys sitting up here practicing Grand Theft Auto. Like I play Grand Theft Auto. Okay, it's a game, but I ain't about to go out here and do nothing that I do on the game at all. Like it's not happening. But I was telling him earlier, I got the answer to why when we in a car, right? And you know how you driving, like say your friend be like, oh, I'm gonna be at this house. So you looking for the address right on side the house or in front of the house. You gotta turn the radio down in order for you to see. I don't know why, but I got the answer today. Nobody had an answer. I got the answer today. So in our book, Atomic Habits, it says humans perceive through the sensory nervous system. All of all our senses, vision is the strongest. Sight takes up 10 million of the 11 million sensory receptors in humans. The good thing is that you can create an environment where you see what you want to see. So when we're trying to split the two, to try to listen to the music and to see at the same time, we actually are doing something smart, which is giving all of our what does it say? Our sensory receptors the rest of what they need to work, because we only have 11 million of them, and our sight takes up 10 million. So we actually take away the hearing one and give the rest of it to our sight, and that's why we're able to find it. Hello. Smart.
What is that?
Smart. And I was so excited because literally this chapter has nothing to do about none of that. But literally that's what came to me when I was listening, because I was listening to the book while I was preparing to come up here, and I think it's chapter 8 in the book. But it was like every living being has its own methods for sensing and understanding the world. So granted, that had nothing to do with it, kind of, sort of. But that's what I had got from it. And I was like, dang. So that's why when you're driving, you got to turn off everything and get quiet in order for you to be able to see. Which I thought was funny at first until I heard that. So I had to listen to the chapter again, because I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, you have only 11 million and your eyes take up 10 million. You only working with 1 million with everything else. Like, that's weird. Like, but it makes sense though. So we're actually smart when we do that. We just don't know it. So the next one from that, because I do have 2 devotionals, and then we're gonna close this out, you guys. But I did take some screenshots. I took like 3 screenshots from from the book. So this is going into 8 and 9 of Atomic Habits. And then the next one is the same strategy that encourages bad habits can be used to promote good habits. It is more likely to form a habit when there are multiple triggers in your surroundings for the habit. So the dominancy of that is self-control needs an enabling environment to thrive. So if I didn't, say if I was a person that drank a lot, I was an alcoholic or whatever like that, I wouldn't, one, let alcohol bottles be in my house. Two, I wouldn't go out drinking with my friends or go to brunch and I'm around a bunch of alcoholic friends, if that makes sense. If you have that self-control, then you go ahead, because it's not every day that you're having to be around it, but it shouldn't be in your house. You see what I'm saying? So if you have an issue with it, because when you have those moments of weakness, like I had, and I was like, bruh, like this too much, like I just wanted to smoke. Haven't smoked in like a year, almost 2 years. I haven't smoked or anything. So yeah, it'll be an official year in October, my birthday actually, because I had a moment on my birthday and I was overwhelmed and I was just like, I'm about to do it, and I did it. The response was just not okay. So I didn't receive what I thought I would. I'm not about to play with him. So yeah, I was done. Okay, so creating that environment. So if we wanted, better eating habits and stuff like that, don't buy chips, cakes, cookies, Pop Tarts, Hot Pockets, all of the good stuff. All the good stuff. They're not good for you, but it tastes real good. Tastes good. Don't buy that and put it in the house if you're trying to get better with your eating habits, because guess what? You may not eat it through the day because you there and you just like, I'm not gonna touch none of that. I don't need none of that. That's for my son. That I will. And then it's late at night, the day is ended, you just like, look, I just need one little snack. Listen, if I eat this one Twinkie, it ain't gonna do nothing. Like, it ain't like I did it all day. You're gonna literally make it a point to make it make sense for yourself when you don't actually need it. Not saying that you don't need a treat or anything like that, but just put it, and apply it to whatever the situation is. So the same strategy that encourages bad habits can be used to promote good habits. It is more likely to form a habit when there are multiple triggers in your surroundings for that habit. So you need something to trigger that habit. You know what I'm saying? So if you're like, I'm hungry, I want something sweet, I don't really want to eat no food. When you open the refrigerator, instead of seeing a cheesecake, that's my guilty pleasure, you see a bunch of fruit. It's sweet. Get some sweet fruit. Don't have the ones that's bitter and tart. You like, I don't want that. Like, it's good for you, but I don't want that. Get something that's more appetizing to you. So strawberries. I like blackberries, even though sometimes they're not as sweet as you want them to be. Watermelon. You know what I'm saying? Bananas, whatever. Mangoes. But I love me some mangoes. That's all good. Like that right there. Yeah. So the next one is, and this is like the conclusion of that one. It says, it is desire, not intelligence, that promotes behavior. When you cultivate a desire for the right habit, you will end up doing it. Emotions drive action. Even when there are logic reasons for doing something, it is emotion that compels you to act on them. Craving comes from response. Craving comes before response. It is the feelings that determine what we do. We elevate actions only after we have carried them out. When these actions are satisfying to our brains, we get reminders at a later time to repeat these actions. Be mindful of what gives you satisfaction. So, yeah, if a double quarter pounder, add bacon, jalapenos, extra cheese, a chili cheese dog with jalapeno soup, and a small fry with a milkshake or a concrete Reese's from Freddy's, your kryptonite. How about do a regular cheeseburger? Okay, get your concrete, but you don't need no chili cheese dog and chili cheese fries and all this extra stuff. Get a burger and some fries in your drink and call it a day. You're not helping yourself. So be mindful of what you give satisfaction to. So you want to eat better, don't eat stuff that ain't good for you. You want to see a difference in your skin, look at what's going on the inside, not just on what's on the outside that you're putting on, but the internal is going to show up on the external. And we've talked about that before. So create a habit scorecard. We talked about scorecards before. Create a habit scorecard for yourself, and you actually liked this one, for yourself to see whether you have a net positive habit or negative habit. Identify one habit you want to stop and one habit you want to develop, and apply the appropriate methods for the summary to that habit. And I like that. It makes sense. So like me wanting to, get into law, it took me to literally take that chance, find out about what I'm doing now, and it correlates with contract law. So I'm seeking, that information. I'm applying that information. So when I go in, I'm not looking like a deer caught in headlights. So that's that part. How do you feel about that? And then we're going to move on to the devotional.
Okay, so for me, I love everything that you said. And I do want to just add that about the environmental thing, I can attest to that because I talked to like a little nutritionist or whatever, which I knew better already. But sometimes you just gotta hear people say it out loud. And she was telling me I was like, so if I'm trying to fix my diet, what do I do about my 2-year-old? She said, girl, fix his diet too. So she just don't put chips in your house, don't put candy in your house. She was telling me all those things she just said, basically. She was like, and he will adjust. He's a 2-year-old, start him now. He will adjust, give him healthier options, and that's just what he'll eat. So I did change I did take a lot of stuff out of the house. So chips, I try not to do that. Instead of chips, I do check it, or something like that. And then they say fruit snacks not healthy, but I try to do fruit snacks instead of Reese's cups or something like that. And it does work. I kid you not. I did not eat any chips. I did not eat any junk. I did not eat any sweets because it wasn't in my environment. He did slide back once because he went to his dad's house once. And his dad sent him back with a big pack of Reese's outside and was not. She said, "Oh, you gonna get whatever you want at my house?" And I said, "Okay." So yeah, but it does work to change those triggers. He wouldn't get into with interrupting your habits that you're trying to create. And then to add, I want to say, I read something, I can't remember which chapter it was, and I did take my notes, but I could not find my notebook with it. But it was saying how our patterns are created by the people that we're around, and our environment is growing up and things like that, and it just took me to how we conform to the patterns of the world and how we should not do that or whatever. The Bible tells us not to conform to the patterns of the world. But in the Atomic Habits, it was Mr. James who was telling us how that's exactly what he said. We change who we want to be or need to be for God to be what we want our friends to see us as or what our family sees us as. And I thought that was I thought that was something good to share and for him to share with us, because sometimes we don't even notice that we're conforming. We don't even notice we create these habits or these patterns because of the people we're around or what we grow up around. Like we be like, nah, I wear this designer because I want not even realize. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you're wearing that designer because you want either somebody to look at you or that's what you used to being around. Like literally the habits and patterns that we create and form, 9 times out of 10 is because we've seen it. 9 times out of 10 is because we were taught it. So, and we always go off of how we're just being ourselves, but we're probably not. So, like I said, sometimes we just sit and God figure out who we actually are. Like, we know He created us to be a certain way, but it may not be for the reasons that we're using it for. So, we should probably be still, listen to His voice, listen to what He tells us, so that He can take that and conform us to what He needs us to be, instead of what we learned and seen and grew up to be. So I like that. So sometimes we are conformed to the patterns of the world, but we should not do that, and we don't even realize it, y'all. So
We never realize it. We never realize it. That's the thing, and that's good. And the funny part about it is, when I was listening to the book earlier, she mentioned that, and she talked about literally forming basically like habit patterns. It's true, and we won't notice that we're doing something. Um, he used the example of like a bully. Says if a person is around a bunch of bullies all the time, their friends are bullies, that person will eventually become a bully, not knowing it, but they'll become a bully because your environment, you can actually become either a product of your environment or a solution from that environment. You see what I'm saying? So you become the opposite of what you grew up in and what you knew to be, what I say, good. Um, so no, it really does make a big difference. You changing his diet and stuff like that, she is most certainly correct. Even in the word it says to teach them young, and when they grow older, that they will not forget. And it's true. Just like so many of us will grow up in church, then you go out into the world, and then once everybody had that come to Jesus moment for real, then they turn around and they come back to their first love, which is God, because that's truly home for us. And sometimes it takes us longer. Age isn't even a qualifier. It's all about where your heart posture is and where your mindset is, and honestly and truly the season that you're in your life. And you can choose to either walk with Him or walk away from Him. He's not wanting robots. He's wanting people that love Him, care about Him, and want to choose Him. Reason why He sent His Son to be able to give us that decision. So my sins are not attached to my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, so on and so forth. My individual relationship is dedicated to Him. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not chastised for what they do, how they do it, or what I do, and they're being chastised for that. It's not like that, unless I'm being a stumbling block to them, which is to lead them the wrong direction, to not be a good example, basically being a hypocrite. Like, you saying it, you speaking it, but are you living it? Because that's real, that's real worship. Your lifestyle is worship. So you should literally emulate, Jesus. They should see Him, they should sense His spirit before they see you. So you changing his eating habits and stuff like that, it is good. But even if you could, like, if he said, oh well, he'll get whatever, this, that, and the third, when he's with him, okay, it's not all the time. So that'll be basically his treat and his break, right? So you may not get the treat like that as often, because when you go there, you got free reign. You know what I'm saying? To basically get all these things. So it's like when you're here, there's structure, there's balancing. Like, oh well, when I go with my dad, I get a treat. You know what I'm saying? So as his mother, we always looking out for the best interest of those that we love, and especially when you bear that child. So you changing that while he's young, you did the best thing for him. Because when he get older, he's gonna mostly want healthier things. Like, of course, he's gonna try other things that he probably didn't get to have, but he may have a different response to it. It may taste nasty to him. He may get sick from it, or he may be like, I don't. they don't taste right, and he wants the freshest things. He wants fruits and different things like that. So it is a good thing. You're teaching him good habits, because when you have good insides, you'll produce better things in the world. So like him being active in sports, or being a doctor, or being a lawyer, or being a landscaper, whatever he wants to be, he'll be very productive in it, and it'll make him more passionate, because you're not sluggish, you're not dragging around. Your appearance is going to be great, because having good eating habits, it produces the things that we need. You know what I'm saying? Like, a good health is very important. So yeah, because if you ain't got a good health, it's gonna show up on your face. Okay, it is what it is. So yeah, it matters. So we're gonna move on to that. That was good. I love that. The next thing, and this is where we're gonna close out at, guys, is the devotionals, and those are the verses that are on the first one that we're gonna talk about. I have two for you. They're short, simple, and sweet. But I'm going to put the verses up on the screen so that you can actually be able to go and look further into it. The book that we're coming from is Jesus Calling. Disregard my nails because I was taking off the polish on this one. But yeah, we coming as we are today. So this hand ain't done with taking it off, and this one is. Okay, so for the one for 1 Kings 8:23 and Galatians 5:22 through 23, it says, "Wait with me for a while. I have much to tell you. You are walking along the path I have chosen for you. It is both a privilege and a perilous way, experiencing my glorious presence and hardening the reality to others. Sometimes you feel presumptuous to be carrying out such an assignment. Don't worry about what others think of you. The work I am doing in you is hidden at first, but eventually blossoms with burst force. But eventually blossoms will burst forth. An abundant fruit will be born. Stay on the path of life with me. Trust me wholeheartedly. Let my spirit fill you with joy and peace." And that one is "Wait with me for a while." And I love it because it did kind of go with what we were talking about earlier. So I love that. I love that. What do you think about that before I go to the next one?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, oh my gosh, confirmation. You were just saying this to me. Oh, let me help you. But yeah, I love that because it just confirms everything that you said. Basically.
Yeah.
Oh, amen. Okay.
Okay, so the next
On to something.
I love that. Okay, so the next one is Psalm 56 through 3, through verse 3 and 4, and Matthew 6, verse 20 through 21. And this one is, "Every time you affirm your trust in me, you put a coin into my treasury. Thus you build up equity in preparation for days of trouble. I keep safely in my heart all trust invested in me, with interest, compounded continuously. The more you trust me, the more I empower you to do so. Practice trusting me during quiet days, when nothing much seems to be happening. Then when storms come, your trust balance will be sufficient to see you through. Store up yourself treasure in heaven through placing your trust in me. This practice will keep you in my peace."
Where is your faith? That's what you just said to me, literally. Okay, guys. Speak, Holy Spirit. I love that.
It's everything. It's everything. It's everything. Because it goes back to what we were talking about, literally. And I didn't know we was gonna have this conversation because this is a free flow. So I didn't know that. Even with the storm, and I was like, pinch a tent in the valley. And I'm like, hold on, wait. Okay, like, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And this one is about every time you affirm your trust in me, so you put a coin into my treasury. And I love that. I do. Having trust in God is like that faith of a mustard seed. And you know, with my mustard seed around my neck, that was the first thing that stood out to me at the beginning of my walk, because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm equipped to do it. And when I read, you know, if you just have faith of a mustard seed, you can tell that mountain to move and go, you know, into the sea, and it will. And it spoke volumes to me, because that mountain is any problem or trouble, and I look at it as my Goliath. And my faith that I have and try to have every day. And yes, I missed the mark. I'm human, but it's not an excuse. It's David. Trust in God. Not putting on all this different armor from these foreign lands, but putting on my whole armor of God and understanding, you know, that God is going to make a way through whatever storm you're going through. But if only I trust in Him and I put on His armor, and I don't want to say it wrong, belt of truth, shoes of peace,
helmet of salvation.
I didn't want to look because I know. Look, I was choosing between salvation with the breastplate and the helmet, of salvation, and
sword of the spirit and the shield of faith.
There we go. So, thank you. It just makes sense when we put that investment of our faith and our truth into Him. It will flourish, like it will blossom, it will be abundant, but we ain't gonna see what it looked like until it's done. And that's where the faith come in at, because it's like I'm sowing and I'm giving and I'm doing all this, I'm doing all of that, but you gotta understand God's timing is not your timing. All you have to do is walk with Him, trust Him. The first time, yes, we all fall short of God's grace, of course. Yes, repent, get back up and turn around. But when you have that diligence to keep on going, keep going. So, we love you guys. We come up here in our truth and transparency. It is what it is. Until God elevates us into another season, and hey, we may even be in the same room, and it's exactly what you want to see. Until then, we're coming up here with our transparency and giving it to you naked and unashamed. Listen, it is what it is. I'm like this on and off the camera. I ain't got nothing else for you. So, like it, love it. Hey, God loves me all the same. It is what it is. I hope that this message did bless you. I hope that you got something out of it, and continue to trust and believe in God, and understand that the purpose and the plan that He has for your life, nothing that you do is in vain. It's never in vain. It just may not be right now. There's a waiting season, and understand that wait, baby, when He bless you, it ain't nothing bad that comes from God, period. So if you believe that anything bad came from Him, you need to go back and sit in your quiet place. You need to test that spirit, because that spirit lied to you. Because we trade our ashes for beauty. We're always seeking to be better every day. Do we miss the mark? Yes, of course. But there's no excuse for you to just lay there in limbo. So understand that every day that you get a chance to wake up is a day for you to get it right. And that was given to you by God and nobody else. So regardless of however anybody around you in your life that is close to you or at a distance that sees you, let them judge you. Let them say whatever they want to do, because He without sin cast the first stone. And every time that rises up against you, shall be condemned by God and only by God and judged by God. Anything that is false, don't take it to heart. Understand that if they love you and they just so ready to come to you and you supposedly walking with God and they just can't get enough, but you still dabbling and doing this and doing that, you're not being a good example. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and a lot of people don't want to hear. They want to talk about prosperity and, oh, the Lord gonna give you a car, he gonna give you this, he gonna give you that. But we're gonna talk about the truth, because the broad path is wide and the narrow path many do not find. And it's not that they can't see it, they don't want to. They choose self over him. I'm trying to get right every day. I'm not perfect, but I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that it's okay, because it's not. The time is ticking. If you can't tell by the times, hey, proof and prophecy, that's being fulfilled right now. Right now. Pay attention to what's going on, because these days are getting very much so shorter. And if you don't feel like quickening in the spirit, you need to get back in that closet. You need to start praying and fasting. You need to get closer to him, because there's a shift that's actually happening right now. And it's either you're going to be aware or you're not going to be aware. Because he said he's going to make sure that his kids have everything that they need in those times. You need to make sure that you're fighting on the right side and you're doing what you need to do. Because eternity is forever, beloved. Wherever you're going, it's forever. And that's the only thing that I could think of, because that's what I think about. Eternity is forever. It's not for a month or a year. So if you go the opposite direction, he ain't coming back to get you. You need to go read the word where the rich man literally went to hell. He was like, look, all he wanted was a drop of water on his tongue. And he wanted God to come and get him. You want to go and rest with God for eternity, not the other way around. So I don't know why I went on that rant just now, but hey, we love you. We care about you. We're here for you. All of our social medias, you'll be able to get in contact with us. We go by the same name on all platforms. Being able to listen to all of them. I never told you guys about the Spotify, but you can actually listen to the podcast when you're driving in the car. I made an account for that, so I will put the recordings up. We have episode 1 and episode 2 that are uploaded now, but I will upload the rest of them, because now we're on episode 8, and you can listen to it on the go. You don't just have to watch it on YouTube. So you can get in contact with us on TikTok, emailing us at the same exact name, Instagram. I do have a Facebook page that I made for us, but it is a private group, because it'll be a lot of personal things that are talked about, and you want everybody to feel safe and have a safe space when they come and be able to be vulnerable and transparent. So there is a Facebook group that I'll end up releasing to you guys shortly, so you can actually request to join, and we'll see if we're a good fit with each other. Deshauna, you have anything you want to say before we go ahead up out of here?
Like my girl said, God is not in a rush. It's probably you, because it's his time and not yours. We here to save. Not save feelings, but save souls.
Hello.
You tuned in too?
Yeah. All right, now. All right, you guys. We'll see you later.